Okay, so again, this is the SpeedShip home screen. The website for it is speedship.wwex.com. Again, that's going to be available within your welcome kit, and Bill and Ryan, I'll look for those, and if I haven't created them already, I'll create them and distribute them tomorrow. This is the primary location for creating rating, creating, tracking your small parcel shipments with UPS or your less than truckload freight with any of our LTL providers. So once you log into SpeedShip, this is the home screen. You can see I'm actually in Robert's live login. The home page gives you the ability to immediately start quoting or booking small parcel freight through our package tab here, or less than truckload freight through our freight tab here. What I'd like to do first is just walk you through how do we create a less than truckload shipment or get a rate quote for it at the least, and then how do we track those, and then we'll move over to the small parcel side. Does that sound good to you guys?
Sounds good.
Fantastic. So we've defaulted each of the shipper locations from your primary shipping warehouse. So given that you guys are from Menominee Falls, they should be defaulted as shipping from Menominee. However, if that needs to change, we do have very simple address books built out for you guys. You can either click on the magnifying glass here and search for the address book or for the location that it's going to be shipping from. Otherwise, you could just start entering some keystrokes. So if we needed to ship from, SBS Carroll Stream rather than Menominee, I just typed SB and it's there. We've also already uploaded the addresses as Exponential Power as well. So let's say in this example, we're going to be shipping from Exponential Power in Houston. I'm going to select that and it pulls up all of our shipping information here. Next, we're going to enter where is it going to here within the where is the shipment going section. All you need in order to get a rate quote is a zip code. So my favorite personal zip code to ship to, 12345, General Electric, New York. But you do also have the ability to either enter in a couple of keystrokes. So if I hit E, all of these addresses pop up. You could select that and it would populate it through to the shipment. On the right-hand side, we've got the ability to add accessorial services. So accessorials are going to be things like inside pickup or liftgate at pickup. Now, likely for you all, it's going to be more so on the delivery side. So if we needed a liftgate at delivery, if it's going to a job site, if we needed to schedule a delivery appointment or have the driver call ahead before delivery. And quite often for you all, we have limited access deliveries. So these limited access deliveries are going to be things like utility sites. So this would be, an electric plant. If it's going to any like a mall or shopping center or to a construction site, carriers do charge for these because the deliveries tend to take longer. And so if you know that it's going to a utility facility or something like that, you'll want to make sure to include that on the front end, and you would add that just by clicking the utility site. And that's going to add that limited access service to the shipment and to the quote. From here, any questions before I move on?
All good.
Okay, so from here, what you would do, the ship date populates as today. If you're just getting a rate quote, the ship date does not matter, but it will only allow you to rate Monday through Friday because carriers don't pick up on LTL carriers for that matter, generally do not pick up on weekends. So from here, what I would say is, what am I shipping? We have uploaded some handling units and some commodities as well to make this process as easy as possible. Handling units are things like pallets or boxes if it's shipping in a bundle. So if I click on my handling units, I can actually see several of the commodities that we have built out. So if we're shipping drums of acid or battery modules, we've got all that information already built out here within your handling units. In this example, we'll say we're going to ship an order of battery modules. I'll hit select, and it auto applies that to our shipment. Otherwise, you could go ahead.
So stupid question.
Yeah,
well, I challenge that a lot. But
okay.
How do I know what? So I saw that list there. I know what a load bank is. That's something primarily this team sells.
Yep.
When you say battery modules, I'm not really sure what that is.
So that was something that was actually provided by Tim. So we've built out, and we've also have a commodity list here. So let me open this up. So we've got a list in order of all of the most frequent products that you all are said to ship. This is again from Tim, from Robert, from the entire shipping team, and so this contains the verbiage that was provided to us. But you see, we've got battery chargers, battery cabinets, batteries, whether they're cells or wet with acid,
Sure.
and so all of our commodities, they're all available here within Manage My Data, freight commodities. So you can easily pull and see what we've got uploaded in here. If you all have other SKUs that we need to get added, not a problem. Let us know. We'll work to find the proper shipping information. So, not to have too much jargon, but everything has a freight class and an NMFC number. That's the way that freight carriers price their products, and it's all standardized by the federal government. And so, if you let us know what you're shipping, we'll work together to identify the proper shipping details, upload them in here. That way, it's as simple as clicking My Commodities, choosing the one that best fits, and adding the freight class and the NMFC number to the shipment.
Perfect. Yeah,
Okay.
that's super helpful.
Yep. Otherwise, though, let's say we don't know that information. But we know we've got one pallet of product. If you know the dimensions, those would be entered here. Dimensions are important because if you have something that is, we'll call it over length, basically 96 inches or longer, carriers do charge more for that. So if you have the dimensions, it's important to enter them in just to make sure the quote's as accurate as possible. From there, all you need to get a rate quote is the class and the weight. Do you all typically know your freight classes when you're getting rate quotes or anything like that?
No idea.
Okay.
I don't.
Okay. So there's a couple ways we can determine this. Number one is going to be through the commodity list. If it's already entered here, then you've got access to all of those. This is again searchable. Sorry. So if you've got a certain product type, you can search for it here and hit go and look it up. Otherwise, we can use the density of the product to determine the freight class, and it's accurate in most instances. So maybe you don't know what the freight class is, but it's 48 by 48 by 48 and weighs 1,000 pounds. We have a pretty cool density calculator on here where I can say I've got one piece that's 48 by 48 by 48. It weighs 1,000 pounds. It weighs 1,000 pounds, and I've got one of them. I can hit calculate. It calculates my density and the estimated freight class based on that density, and then apply it to my shipment. And there we go. It added freight class 70 based on the dimensions, and then it pulled the weight through right here. So if you don't know the freight class and commodity, again, you can reach out to our support team. Again, the current email, sbsnolan@wwex.com. That'll be in your welcome kit. I'm sure that'll be changing to Exponential Power in the future. We'll be glad to assist you with getting classes. You can also pull it up here in My Commodities, or you can use the density calculator here to determine the average freight class based on the product density. Now, one thing I want to point out, carriers do offer coverage for all your less than truckload shipments. So based on the weight and the class of the shipment, they offer liability coverage. So if it's they may offer $2 per pound, they may offer $20 per pound, but it's going to depend on the class and on the weight. If you have a product that is very valuable or somewhat valuable, we do also partner with a company called UPS Capital. UPS Capital is our insurance provider, and they do offer supplemental insurance just in case you want to see, what would it look like if I wanted to add additional insurance to this product. So if there was something like that, you wanted to see what would it look like to add insurance, we can do so through here. You would just say whether it's new or used, select the category that best fits. Quite often your products would be considered machinery, or you could say miscellaneous. And we would just enter the value of it here. So this can actually, what's cool about it, it can be up to the retail value of the product. That way, let's say something ships and it gets damaged and it's unsellable to the receiver. Well, unlike limits of liability, which only cover the cost, with this you can actually insure up to your retail value and protect your profit too. So that's pretty neat. But once we've got all of these shipment details filled out here, the origin of the receiver, the freight details here, I can go ahead and hit get quote, and it's going to pull up all of our carrier partners who run this lane. So again, we selected shipments from the Houston area going up to New York. We've got 4 carriers who run this for us: UPS Freight, Forward Air, Old Dominion, and XPO. These are ordered from least expensive to most expensive. It's going to show you the estimated days in transit. It also shows you the carrier limits of liability. So this is how much they would pay up to in case the product were damaged. And then this shows you the insured price as well. So, this example, we said it was worth $15,000. So UPS Freight, not only is it the low cost with the lowest transit days, they actually cover up to the value of the product, up to $15,000. So you could select the uninsured amount, or you could select the insured amount here as well. And doing this would allow you to continue through all the way to booking.
Is there any gotchas? And I guess I don't know what I don't know, but if I'm looking at something today,
yes,
what is my price? Am I going to see and no one has a crystal ball, but am I going to see a price jump of 5%, 10%, 30% next week?
So there's a few factors. Number one is fuel. Fuel does fluctuate, but we're talking difference of dollars per week.
Okay.
So fuel, I would, unless there's a fuel catastrophe in the U.S., I wouldn't anticipate a significant jump, but it will fluctuate from over the period of a week. So if you quoted something last week and shipped it this week, there may be a couple dollars difference up or down either way. What's the biggest determinant in cost versus bill, though, what you're quoted versus what the bill is right here. It's if you just quote it from zip to zip code, but it actually requires a lift gate and going to a utility site, the bill that you receive is going to differ from the quote up front. So it is important, if you're delivering to one of these limited access sites, or if you know that they need an appointment or a lift gate or anything like that, it is going to increase the cost in your quote, but that will make sure that your quote is accurate up front and that the bill reflects the actual shipment parameters.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's a great question. And just to show you guys once again, so once we have all this information entered, I can hit get quote. And on this page, if you ever wanted to see what goes into a rate, you can click on the link here, and that's going to show you our transportation charge, the limited access charge. So again, this one is going to like an electric site or a power plant or something, and then the fuel charge as well. You can see when I click on the insured, it's the exact same except for our insurance premium. Okay. Let's go back to this quote screen. Any other questions on LTL quoting prior to moving on to how to track those?
The bulk of what we sell is our H2, which is just a 12 by 12 by 4 inch box weighing 4 pounds. So I'm wondering if you could just
So I'm anticipating that's going to ship small parcel with UPS, correct?
Exactly.
Yeah, so it's really simple on the UPS side too. You'll simply click the package tab. Again, we've got the address book here. So this one will just keep us shipping from Menominee Falls. For UPS shipments, it does require the actual address. We've got a pretty extensive address book built out for you. So if I just hit if I start keying some addresses, it should pull up your most frequent receivers. Otherwise, if you've got a new customer, you can easily save those addresses here. You would just save as new entry and enter a nickname for it, and that way it'll be in your address book the next time. But let's say that we're shipping something to Barnard Equipment. There we go. This is in Louisville, Kentucky. We'll say it's one package, and you can leave it as customer packaging here. And so you said that's 12 by 12 by 12 at 4 pounds?
Yeah.
Yeah. So with UPS, you don't have to enter the dimensions, but again, if you do, it's going to allow you, or it's going to provide the most accurate rate quote. So I'm going to enter our weight as 4 pounds. We'll say it's 12 by 12 by 12. From here, we can say the service type that we're looking for. This doesn't restrict you to this one, and we are still going to provide the various rates. But let's say we need this one to deliver next day air, which would be next day tomorrow by end of day, the next business day. Same thing here on the LTL side. If you need any additional services, you would add those here. If you need to schedule a pickup or anything like that, you could. Most of you all have your pickups already scheduled. So these two references are mandatory in order to continue through, because from here we could very easily create shipments. If you're just getting a rate quote, you don't need to necessarily put anything in. But what these are, reference 1 is like your purchase order, sales order, or transfer number. So, and then reference 2 is the GL code, and we've got a drop-down list to select the right GL code. We'll just say it's this one here. I have no idea what they mean, but we put them in there. And then in order to see the rates, we're just going to hit next. It's going to take us to a summary page. And so you can see that in order to deliver this next day to Louisville, the currently selected rate is $55.70. You could also deliver next day early AM for this amount. Otherwise, if we want to go back and see what's the ground rate, I can just hit back. We'll look at the ground option instead. Where did that go? Oh, here we go. We'll look at ground. Go next. And with ground, we've got a rate of $9.40 US for the shipment. And then you've got all the other various options, whether next day, 2-day, 3-day, etc. Here on the right, we show you when it would be anticipated to deliver if shipping today. Any questions here on UPS rates? Basically, you need the origin, the destination, and then what it is you're shipping. With all that, you'll select the service type, and the next page will bring you a summary of our service options with the days they would deliver as well.
And sorry, Scott, I had a quick call, but so you may have answered this already, but this is our specific rate. This isn't list rate, right?
That is correct. This includes your discounts.
Thank you.
Yep, absolutely. Great question. Anything else here, guys, before we move on to tracking? Tracking's really simple.
I'm good, thanks.
Okay. So anytime we need to get to the home page, we can just click the Worldwide Express logo, or you can go ship, prepare shipment. I like the logo. Whoop. I wonder, I'm going to cancel the shipment. Yes. There we go. And now we're back to the home page. So we've got a couple different ways you can track shipments. Let's look at less than truckload first. First, we've got all your history here. With it, if you go shipment history, you can pull up small parcel or LTL. It lists truckload there, but the truckload's actually managed on a different site for us, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. Small parcel and LTL are the ones that you can track here. But we've also got a cool tracking dashboard. So within the freight tab, if you click track, it's going to pull up a dashboard of all of our shipments. And what's great, we actually have all of these shipments from all of the various locations linked to this. So if you sell something that ships from another location, you'll have visibility to it here. And so this has all the basic information. Select columns. Let me add reference numbers here. So this has all the basic information, including your reference number. So if you wanted to search for something by a PO number or SO number, you could do that here. It shows you where it's currently at, the estimated delivery date. It gives you the ability. These are all scheduled and pending, but here's some that are in transit. So let me track this shipment by clicking on the icon here, and it gives you all the various freight details here as well. Picked up on the 3rd, currently Chicago en route to Nashville, Tennessee. just to show you what our shipment histories look like. I'm going to go ship history, look at the LTL. This too going to bring up. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
No, I was just going to ask. So when does this get updated? So if something gets picked up today, is that an instant? I mean, if it gets picked up at 3:30 Central Time, at 3:31 I can go in and get tracking information, or do I need it to wait?
Not exactly. So great question though. So LTL is a little bit different. So basically, when something gets picked up, the drivers are provided the paperwork for it. The freight gets to the terminal. At the terminal, they're scanning in all their bills of lading. Our system is sweeping for the pros, the tracking numbers, overnight. And so by the next day, we should have all those pros within our system. The pro is just the industry jargon for tracking number. We should have all those tracking numbers within our system. And that, so if it's been picked up on time, then those pros should be within our system next day. And at that point, our system updates anytime the carriers provide an update on the shipment.
And for UPS?
Yeah, so UPS is very similar. So just once it's scanned into UPS, when UPS has an update, our system updates as well. So to show you the UPS side, I can go ship, shipment history, small package. This is searchable by your reference number. So say for example, I needed to search for this PO number. I can search for it here. It's going to pull this up. I can track my package here. Oh, so this one's not been shipped yet, but as it ships, it's going to load with all the UPS tracking details.
Sure.
Yep. And then just to go back, I'm going to click off on this X, and that would allow me to search for whatever the next shipment is.
So we're able to get a quote,
Yep.
understand, communicate, track stuff, get that information over to the customer, but we're not actually booking freight and transit and shipments. That still goes through our shipping department.
So that's up to you. What I would say is you could, but it sounds like to me that still would be up to your shipping department, yes. But this tool would give you the ability to easily provide rate quotes without necessarily having to get a rate from your warehouse and waiting on that turnaround time.
Okay.
But at the same time, guys, if you ever need assistance, again, our support team information will be in that welcome kit. We're glad to help provide rate quotes and things like that, or give you assistance in pulling them on your own.